Each year I have the pleasure to introduce the new president of the NAVC. And this year it gives me special pleasure to introduce somebody who I've known for a long time, who's been associated with the NAVC for a long time. He's a Louisiana State graduate. We don't certainly hold that against him. We learned a lot of Cajun in the last few years, and Don has a saying that if he can't cure it, he has a recipe for it. And believe me, that's true. He thought it was going to be a good day today because he woke up and he's an avian practitioner from Miami, and he saw a red-tailed hawk on his balcony. And then the crowning thing for Don was when he drove up to the Marriott and saw all those pansies outside there in the purple and gold colors. The Marriott tells me...
It was the purple and gold, not the pansy thing.
Yeah. Well, we're not so sure about that, but never mind. But anyway, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Don Harris, President of the NAVC, and an all-around great guy. Don.
Thank you. Thank you, Colin. Good evening. Is everybody happy? Oh, no. No, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. This is the land of the immortal mouse. When you respond, you respond with enthusiasm. When I say, is everybody happy, you say, yeah, man. Unless you're not, then you say, hell no. But just say something. Is everybody happy? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I have a question for you. How many people sincerely came here solely to hear me deliver the welcome address? I'm sorry. Unless you're in my immediate family, I don't believe you. And I know for a fact my son Adam came here to hear the funny guy that's coming on in a few minutes. So I only want to do two things. I'll be quick, relatively. First, I want to express some sincere thank yous. First of all, to my son and my daughter, Adam and Meredith, for putting up with my inattentiveness when I was being attentive to other things like the conference. So Adam, Meredith, thank you. Secondly, the words that I think every father wants to hear at some point in his life. I want to thank my dad for being encouraging and tell me I was doing a great job even when I wasn't. Thanks, Dad. And lastly, to the lovely lady in my life, we haven't been together for decades, but we've been together through thick and thin. And I wasn't sure whether or not to get this personal, but let me tell you how thick. 5 weeks ago, I had a stroke. Now, I know, you're looking at me, you think, he's the epitome of physical fitness. How could that possibly happen? But it did. I was in intensive care for 3 or 4 days. She was right there by my side every second. Thank you, Janet. Now, let me tell you what else happened, and this segues into what I really want to say tonight. Another thing that happened was Dr. Doug Mader, fellow member of the board of directors, drove 2.5 hours up from the Keys, left his practice, and spent 36 hours in that hospital with me to make sure that everything was okay if he could do anything. Thank you, Doug. And then several other things. For example, Karen Rosenthal, head of clinics, University of Pennsylvania, calls me in the hospital and she says, I've already identified a flight. All I have to do is get on it and come cover your practice. That's the caliber of people sitting in this room tonight. I never dreamed that I would be in this position here tonight. Maybe this position, but not this position. To be able to welcome you and to thank you. You've heard people talk about how great conference is because of the lecture, the labs, those kinds of things. I'll tell you what I think. It's not just a conference, it's an experience. And it's because of the people. So here's what I want to do. Bear with me. I know you're eager for a blue-collar guy, but bear with me. I want to recognize the people who make this such a successful experience. First of all, and I'm going to ask you to stand. I want you to stay standing. It's very important. Please do not sit down until I say it's okay to sit down. The officers, the past presidents, the board of directors, would you please stand up? Come on, stand up, guys. Okay? All the staff, all the people that we employ to help put on this conference, full-time, past-time, would you please stand up? Everyone. All the speakers, all the lab instructors, all the masterclass, all the moderators, everybody who volunteers and comes and puts in time to put on the conference, would you please stand up? Come on, you're out there. You're all over the place. Please stand up. If you've ever attended one of our lectures, if you've ever attended one of our labs, if you're here with somebody who has attended a lecture, if you were in the hall for the plumbers convention and you wandered in accidentally, please stand up.
Stand up.
Come on. Yeah. Look around you, guys, and look at what makes this such a special experience. In fact, do more than that. Take the next 20 or 30 seconds and turn around and say hello to the people around you, please. And don't sit down, because we're not done. Okay. Now, I want to do something special. I know why you really came here. I want to give a warm North American Veterinary Conference standing ovation welcome to Mr. Bill Engval. There's your sign.
Thank you very much. Oh my God, thank you.
Please sit. Please take some cold cuts. We're not going to finish all these.
Oh wow! Well, that was genius. I'm sitting. I'm gonna. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. Two things have happened tonight. Number one, I do 1,000 of these kind of shows, and invariably one of the worst things that can happen is when the president gets up to speak right before you go on, because you're just like, oh God. And I heard him doing, could you stand up if you've done this? And I'm over there going, oh my God, no. That was genius. You are simply a genius. You can tour with me whenever. I would also like to thank Hills for having me here, and especially Dr. Mary Beth, who is